Steve, you know we can't allow you to leave before the office of president without sharing your reflection on the past year. Please roll the video. And you stay on stage.
What I found in traveling literally back and forth across the country, up and down, everywhere from Alaska to Florida to New England down to Arizona, New Mexico, everybody is going through the same thing. When I say that, we've all been asked to do more with less. In some cases, we've been asked to do more with nothing. But unfortunately, what happens is municipalities, communities, counties don't want to turn around and restaff construction departments where they had a reduction in force for fear that this may be a bubble, this may not be sustainable. So what happens is we're taking in permits, we're collecting the revenue, yet we don't have the support staff to make the inspections. So then what happens? Complaints come in because you're not doing your job. Well, you can't do the job if you don't have the staffing, the manpower, and the support to do that. The problem that we have system-wide is that by and large code officials don't get the recognition. And I don't mean, the banner waving and the flags. What I'm talking about is the fact that when we do our job, nothing happens, okay? Buildings don't fall down. Buildings don't catch fire because of what we do. So here's what happens is most code officials like to go on, do their job, stay out of the limelight, focus on what's expected of them. But we need to promote what we do because what we do matters. Over the years, the members were very clear, whether it was the Task Force on Hearings or CADRAC, the Code Development Ad Hoc Review Committee, the message was very clear. Members wanted to be able to participate remotely. The board took that to heart. We went through and found a way to make it happen. Look, I can tell you, having sat through years and years of code development hearings, it's probably some of the most boring things you will ever sit through. But it's also, by far, one of the best educational opportunities you will ever have. Because I look at it this way, as a code official, my job isn't to sit there and say, well, the book says this. My job is to go out and say to the individual that I'm inspecting, this is why you do something. This is why these changes were made. And the code change process allows you the opportunity to do that. The other thing you have to take into consideration is we all understand, I deal with it, I work for two communities. Budgets are tight, time out of the office is critical. So to turn around and say you're going to spend 6, 8, 10 days in a code development hearing when you're a one-man shop is not realistic. The issue that we have, though, CDP Access now allows any member the opportunity to participate in the code development hearings from their desk, from their laptop, sitting on the beach. It doesn't matter. If you can get access to the internet, you can participate in the code development hearings. The responses we've gotten from the members for the rollout for the C cycle have been extremely positive. We're very, very happy. Listen, it didn't come out without some glitches, but those were things that we were able to address as we move along, and as we go to the A cycle now and roll out CDP Access for the A cycle, I expect to see a number of enhancements come out. The online collaboration, the remote voting, the ability to view the testimony, the ability to change your vote. Okay? These are all things that the membership has asked for. These are all things that we've been able to accomplish. And I think CDP Access is a huge opportunity for us. The only thing that's limiting it is the people's interest or understanding that it's out there. And that's where we have to continue to promote what we do so they understand that their voice counts. As a board member, you move further away from the code development side and more into the business model side. And that's probably one of the toughest things you have to get used to when you become a board member, is not giving up what you're used to doing, but understanding that you've got a different set of responsibilities, that you're now in charge of a corporation. If somebody wants to run for board service, be prepared. It's an awful lot of work. You have to know what you're talking about, and it's not necessarily based on codes. It's based on being able to handle the business aspect of an association. And that's a big adjustment for a lot of people. I think one of the greatest things that you take away from being a board member is knowing that you are welcomed across the country wherever you go, and knowing that if I needed to pick up the phone and call somebody in Arizona or Alaska or Connecticut or Florida, I know that I can get somebody on the phone and I would be able to make a contact if I needed something. That's huge. You don't realize, we have 50,000 plus members, but we're an awfully small organization, and when I say small, it's a family. I see us continuing to grow at a steady pace, but I also am aware of the fact that we have to be careful not to let the proverbial reach exceed the grasp. We do the best codes that are out there. We produce documents, we produce information, we have the technical expertise to remain number one in the field, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. What we need to make sure of is that we focus on what we do best, and that's code development, and not get bogged down or distracted by doing things that take us away from our focus, our members, the ability to develop codes, and getting the best and highest information out there that our members need to perform their jobs and keep the people safe. Okay, it still says Terry on the screen, but two things. First, I filmed that in Chicago in front of a green screen, and I was scared to death at what was going to show up behind me. And second, I was really happy that I'm not wearing the same tie in the video that I am tonight.
And now, Steve, the microphone is yours.
Really?
To share, well, you can't keep it forever. To share your farewell thoughts as president of the International Code Council Board of Directors.
Wow, it got quiet. I'm both honored and humbled by these awards, and I can't sincerely thank you all enough. As I said earlier, I may be the current face of this association, but our success this past year was because of all of our efforts. Our staff, led by our CEO, Dominic Sims, has confirmed the board's full faith in his efforts to redirect our focus and to put our association back on solid ground. He's made the tough decisions that needed to take place in his efforts, and that of his highly competent staff have clearly paid off. I want to publicly thank Dom and the rest of his staff for their tireless efforts in making the ICC such a huge success. The ICC is clearly the membership association that we can all be proud of. To the rest of my board, thank you. We have clearly worked very well as a team, and I'm so very proud of all of you. Our efforts in guiding our association have resulted in major shifts in our policies and the offerings we give to our members, along with restoring the fiscal responsibility and stability so clearly necessary. We are obviously doing something right. To our new officers and directors, my best to you, and remember, you're not out there alone. You have a strong and supportive network of people who want nothing more than to watch you succeed. Take advantage of their experience and listen more than you speak. Always trust your instincts to do what is right, not just what is popular. And be ever mindful that your responsibility is the fiscal solvency and stewardship of this great association. Don't screw it up. How's that for motivation? I'm so proud of Guy, and I know he's going to make a great president. And this association will also be served well by your upcoming officers. It's very odd and slightly disconcerting to think that after this year, I will be the senior member on the board. Seems like only yesterday that I was standing at a microphone in Reno asking, actually begging for your support. It's been an unbelievable ride. To our members, my friends, we've laughed, mourned together, weathered the storm, and come out on the other side stronger and wiser for the trip. I thank all of you who I got to visit with this past year for the hospitality, the friendship, the strange food that does not taste like chicken, Jim Brown, potential gunfire, strange customs, bad haircuts, and the rest of the general mayhem associated with chapter visits and travel. It was a great run, and I had an awesome time, except for those little nuggets you made me eat. In Wyoming, thank you. Don't ask. And still, it is amazing to realize that I have made true friends all across this great land. Never forget, we are all in it for the same cause. As for our future, it's bright. But it won't be without each and every one of you taking the initiative to step up and lead, whether it be with the ICC, your local chapter, or seeking out an up-and-coming talent in your office or staff. We must encourage, support, and develop new talent. And I challenge each and every one of you to make an extra special effort to bring a new talent pool to our group. Remember, never be afraid to lead. For those of you looking for a great cause to support, I strongly encourage you to learn more about our high school technology program. It's awesome. And through all of our efforts, we can help guide and foster the next generation of code professionals. To my New Jersey and G12 and Region 7 peeps, thanks for all your unending support over these last dozen years or so. I would not be standing here today without your sacrifice, time, effort, and support. I really do love you guys. To say that I've been away from home this year would be a gross understatement. I stopped counting the number of days that I've been out of the office. Fortunately for me, my administrator, Tim Gordon, who happens to be sitting over there, can't really count that high. So Monday, I might just be able to slip back into the office unnoticed. Mind you, this is the same office where I do have a milk carton with my picture on it. Seriously, though, I've been blessed with a great staff that is constantly covering for me, and frankly, I'm not sure what I'm going to do when I get back to the office. And finally, to my wife and family, I love you all. Your patience, understanding, support have made all of this possible. However, sadly, I do have a honey-do list at home that's about 16 pages long. In closing, I again want to say, step up, make a difference, help lead this great association to the next decade. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Steve. As an ICC member and a former board member, as a friend, I thank you for your year of service as president and your years of service on the ICC board. From my personal perspective, member, colleague, friend, I've known you to always give 100% to this association. And you faced quite a few challenges. And you handled those challenges head on. And you did it with that unique sense of humor that we know as New Jersey Steve Jones. We know you, love you, respect you. I'm confident I speak for all of us when I say thank you for your leadership.